Hello team, nice to see you again. If you don't know me, my name is Alvin and I run an advisory firm here in Melbourne, Australia. It's called Relab. We focus on digital product acceleration. Now, because of that, I get to meet a lot of startup founders, early stage startup founders, and I come across this question a lot in my communication with them, essentially around if there was one piece of advice that I could give to a startup founder, what would it be? Now stick around and I'll make sure I'll answer that for you. Now I wanted to start with some of these few points that I see consistently happening in the world of startups, and it doesn't really help the founders at all. The first thing is that they jump into execution way too early without understanding the problem enough. And that basically allows them to spend some money, spend some effort, and finally produce something that users don't really want. And so what happened there is they have not invested enough time to understand the problem, but rather get distracted with the solution and try to execute too early, too fast. So in order to address that, first of all, you need to have a mindset shift. It's not really about, I have this idea, let's go and find a developer and build this and then launch it and upload it in the App Store. It's not as simple as that. You need to understand the problem first and the reason why you existed, and that includes, really understanding your users, really understanding your value proposition and how it fits into the market, what gap it's filling, and really just trying to understand competitors and other people or other businesses and other products that are available out there to the same type of users that you're trying to target. So if you invest more time to try and understand that landscape and the context and where you sit in that positioning, then it will definitely help you understand whether or not your idea is worth producing, worth pursuing, or you need to iterate, pivot, or even tweak it a little bit before investing further into execution. Another thing that is very important to note that as a startup, particularly if you're early stage, you don't have to have the best high-tech execution level to whatever you're doing. You can really go down the low-tech route, low budget, do a very dumbed down version of your MVP just to test your hypothesis. So it's important to have this mindset shift that you are not trying to build the next Snapchat, for example, but rather you're really trying to test your idea. Be focused on that instead of being too focused on producing the most polished thing ever. The other thing worth considering is that you can start fast and you can start small. You can use all of the available resources out there that is low tech, low code, that does not require a lot of budget, a lot of time and effort and resources from your side. I know that a lot of startup founders think of an idea and they wanted to properly build this thing and spend some money out of it, although they may not have enough resources to do that. Now, the reality is the most important thing is to test your idea, hypothesis, and be able to talk to your users. Do whatever you can to do that fast, because that will enable you to pivot promptly or even simplify your idea and focus to the thing that matters the most to your users. The number of times I've come across startups with 5 different feature ideas, but after talking to users, they understand that the users only want 1 or 2 of them has been a game changer for them. So if you can do that for yourself when you're starting, that would do you great at the end of the day in terms of just allowing you to do more in the long run. And finally, ask better questions. Make sure you ask meaningful questions when you talk to your stakeholders or your users. Talk about questions around features that matters the most to them, features that are not so important to them, and have them answer that honestly. And also have them validate whether or not your goal as a startup for your product and service is actually a unique thing for them that they will actually use. But if you get to practice and asking these questions and getting real answers from these users or stakeholders, then that would be very, very useful for you as well. And therefore, this one piece of advice, if I can pick one, is really about you not having to fall in love with your solution right away, particularly in the early stage. Fall in love with the problem instead. Take time to really, really understand the problem. Take time to test your solution against the problem, but have that problem as an anchor. So keep a problem statement, keep a vision statement that addresses that problem, and always pull yourself back into it. And the solution can be a bit more flexible, and it needs to adjust itself according to feedback at the end of the day. So fall in love with the problem, not the solution. All right, folks, I hope that was helpful for you. Please reach out to me if you have any questions around this, or leave some comments in the comment box below, and we'll try our best to answer all of your questions. But otherwise, do like this video, subscribe to the channel, or share it to your friends and colleagues. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.